Barry, another aspiring top four side and another very close scoreline. It must be really frustrating now. You're just doing virtually everything, but they're just a little bit away from getting that first victory.
Yeah. The resolve from the players today, the attitude of them, 12-0 down and then 24-6 down. And then the second half performance was nothing short of outstanding. Some of the rugby we played today against, like we say, a team where there should be a big gulf between the two sides. Then we looked a very, very assured, very tough, very fast, very clinical team today. And there's always some momentum swings in games, and there was a big one today that probably just kept them 2 scores ahead of us and denied us the chance of going on and winning the game. But we've got to move forward. We've got to take everything positive out of today, and we're going to take that into the next couple of games, and then some real big ones in a couple of weeks' time.
Did you mention anything at half time? Because we got to that magical 12 points again in the first half, going in behind, and the last few games have just been a little bit of a struggle to score any points. But you managed to overcome that this week.
Well, one pleasing thing about today is over the last couple of weeks against Halifax and London, we created enough opportunities to score a similar amount of points that we scored today. But what we didn't do against London and Halifax was turn some of those opportunities into points. We created some great overlaps and field position and either skill or timing of pass just let us down in those last couple of games. But we've been working on that heavily, and it was pleasing to see that we put some of those opportunities into points today. And again, the boys looked at a blooming good side, didn't they?
Is it a confidence thing sometimes in that they try and play within themselves and not to make a mistake because they're not sure about some of these sides that can be quite clinical against you?
Well, if you want to call it an analogy or something like that, I've spoke to a couple of the players this week about football strikers, and they go through barren spells of not scoring a goal, and but if they're not putting themselves in that position to score a goal, they're not going to get one. You get some strikers that shoot wide, etc., and they're still putting themselves in the right place to get a goal, but for some reason or another they're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. We've been like that over the last couple of weeks. We've had people putting themselves in the right position, but for some reason or another that final pass hasn't just quite been accurate enough or skillful enough, or we've just not made the pass when we probably could have done and turned that opportunity into a try. But it was pleasing to see that we did that today. So we should gain some confidence out of some of the stuff we played today offensively, and we are building a pretty decent offensive game at the moment.
Just at sometimes again where you're just getting into the game, but there's odd little errors that keep creeping in, and maybe a couple of soft tries today that maybe just get them just in front. How do they cut those sort of things out?
Well, I think the big thing today was the amount of defending we had to do in our own 20-metre area. There was a lot of penalties that gave them that opportunity, and I need to look at them. If there's some areas where we need to be better at the ruck so that we don't concede them penalties, then we'll work on that and fix that up. I'm not sure it was all that though. But then when you do defend good ball and teams throwing good quality attacking shapes against you, then you've got to have a little bit more resolve about you. And I was disappointed with a couple of tries, I must admit, in and around the post area to the sideline. I was a little bit disappointed with how they scored a couple of their tries today. But we'll look at that, and we'll certainly work on that this week, because we know that we're going to come up against a decent side in Bradford next week.
But overall, pleased with the overall performance and the resolve that the players are showing?
Well, I've got to take my hat off to them, because as we said, 12-0 and 24-6 down, and then right back in the game, and we get a big momentum swing from that tap 20 restart. The mentality to keep coming back and keep fighting to try and get ourselves back in the game, and maybe give ourselves a chance of winning the game is very, very pleasing to see. And that sort of application is bound to stand us in good stead as we enter a real tough phase of the season for us going into the split.
We've got two tough matches coming up in Bradford and Leigh. Leigh away is probably one of, after the performances that they've been putting up recently, is quite formidable. But Bradford on a tighter pitch, you'd be hoping to give them a game, I would think.
Well, it'll be the physical side of the game. So the size of the pitch is is irrelevant if you're not being able to control the ruck and the speed of the ruck. So the physicality that Bradford have got, I think, they are by far the biggest side in the competition. They're right up there with Leeds. I think both teams have lost one game. Bradford have lost to Lee and Lee have lost to London. So they are formidable sides. It's going to be a tough challenge for the players, but it's one where we can get excited about, because we'll certainly be massive underdogs. We won't be expected to post many points against them, and Bradford will be expected to win heavily against us. But again, we've seen some great attacking flair from us today, and if we get enough opportunities, we'll score points.
All right, thank you very much. Let's look forward to those matches, and then we've got Doncaster. See if we can keep enough fit players so we can take a good squad there, and finish the season off with some points to some of those lesser clubs, or the clubs below us, should I say, later on in the season.
Well, yeah, obviously, we've got a tough period coming up, and then we've got some really exciting fixtures as well at the back end of this phase of the league season. And we're going to that 7-game split, which is going to be it's going to be nervy, and it's going to be tense right the way through.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.